What's going on, guys? Michael here from TYT Yugioh, and today I'm going to be coming at you guys with my Tzolkin Hero deck profile. It's currently like 1:30 or 2 in the morning, so if I sound tired, I apologize, but I just got back from topping my locals. Obviously, topping locals, not the biggest achievement, but it's relevant because everyone was telling me that, like, oh, my deck is broken, and then Palmer and I realized that I had never actually shown this list to you guys, so I figured I would just get a quick deck profile in before I go to bed and show you guys what I'm playing. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. So first off, we play some Destiny heroes. Obviously, we play 3 Malicious, mandatory, don't need to explain it. Celestial. I think this is the only other Destiny hero you play. Drill Dark is not very good, I don't think. Summoning Mally out of your hand doesn't do anything. Sometimes you have awkward hands where you just have like Destiny Draw, Rhoda, and Instant Fusion, and you just need a level 4 Destiny hero monster. And I think this is the best one by far, so that's why we play it. Then we play 2 Shadow Mist. I think this is all you need. I've tried to be very minimalistic with my monster count for reasons that I guess I'll get into a little later. So you need 1 for Hero Lives and 1 for Armageddon Knight, basically, and you don't really want to draw it, so that's why you just play the 2. Then we play 2 Armageddon Knight. Probably the best like combo starter in the deck. Don't really need to explain it. I'm going to play 2 Summoner Monk. I don't know why people aren't playing this card. This card is Armageddon Knight, it's Dark Gruffer, it's a Hero Lives, it's just everything. And you play so many spells, a lot of which are redundant and sometimes dead, like Destiny Draws and stuff like that. So, like, this card is just bananas. Alright, then we play Dark Gruffer. Dark Gruffer, I think, is just way too good not to play. It gets you out of awkward hands, like when you draw Malicious. And again, we really essentially play 4, because we play the 2 Monk, 1 Rhoda, and this. So it's pretty consistent, and I like it at 1. You don't always want to open it, because again, it's only good in sort of niche situations when you like draw the Plague Spreader or draw the Mally, and stuff like that, but it's just too good not to have as an option. And then we play Tuner Monsters, Tuner Resonator. I think this is the correct number, which I guess I'll talk about in a little bit more detail when I get to the spell lineup. And then I play 1 Plague Spreader. Self-explanatory. Cards are fantastic. I'm going to play 3 Hero Lives. If you're not playing 3 of this, you're bad. This is probably the second best combo starter next to Red Resonator. If you're worried about paying life points, then like that means the boards you are making are not good enough, or you are drawing Soul Charge too much and you're a cheater. But yeah, Hero Lives definitely 3 of. Then I play Book of Eclipse. This is really bad. So right before my like locals, this was Elemental Hero Blazeman, a fusion substitute, and a Raigeki. But then I decided that Blazeman was like too gimmicky, and I just didn't want to play it. So I was like, what are some cards that I can play that are like kind of good in my deck? And I was like, oh, Book of Eclipse, because it's trap card going first, going second, it adds Floodgate monsters, and it's a spell card, so you can discard it for a Summoner Monk. So this is okay. I may or may not play these going forward. I think I'm going to cut at least 1 for a Dragon's Mirror, so that I can summon Draco Equist from the extra deck. But again, I don't know, I'm still playing around with Draco Equist. Not really sure how I feel about it. But for now, I'm playing Book of Eclipse. 3 Instant Fusion. If you're not playing 3 of this, you're bad. This card is game. If you just have any, like, take any generic hand in this deck, add Instant Fusion, and you are lit. This is Rafflesia, or another Synchro, or anything like that. It's just fantastic. Again, we're playing Plague Spreader, we're playing Summoner Monk, so don't worry about dead ones. Yeah, like, you just need to see this as soon as possible, so you play 3 for sure. Then this is something I don't see a lot of people playing, and I don't really know why. Into the Void. So the consistency that this gives the deck is fantastic, definitely needed, and I don't, like, the discarding in the end phase is, like, really just not a problem, because you spaghetti your whole hand when you go first and turn it into monsters, and when you go second, like, you kind of just die most of the time, and use all your resources in your hand, and a lot of times, like, when you break in this deck, you just, have like too many monsters. That's usually when you are like bricking, right? And so that's why I've made the monster count very minimalistic, and added into the voids, so that having a handful of monsters doesn't conflict with Void Ogre Dragon. And if I have a handful of monsters that I want in the graveyard, like Shadow Mists, Plague Spreaders, and stuff like that, I can proc their effects. And Other than that, my deck is full of spell cards, so I just set them. So Into the Void, I think, has been a fantastic addition to my list. I'm very happy with it. Next, we play 3 Resonator Call. I think this is definitely the correct ratio because we play Summoner Monk. I almost want to play a 3rd Red Resonator, but I think that 5 like Resonator cards is good. Again, we play 3 of this and 2 of a guy because you can discard this off Summoner Monk and you cannot discard the monster, obviously. But yeah, the only thing I would change is, again, maybe a 3rd Red Resonator. But if you're not going to play 6 Resonator monsters, then you definitely play more of the spell than you do of the guy. Then we play some draw cards. We play 2 D-Draw, 2 Allure of Darkness and 2 D-Draw. This is dead a lot since we only play 3 or 4 Destiny Hero monsters, but this is way too good not to play. Allure of Darkness, I'm not really sure how I feel about. Since I've gone very minimalistic with the monsters, you don't actually really want to resolve multiple Allure of Darknesses. If you are resolving multiple allures, that either means that you're banishing your good dark monsters like Summoner Monk and stuff that you like want to use for your combos, or you're banishing bad monsters like Mallies and Plague Spreaders, in which case you drew Mally and Plague Spreader and you're like probably gonna die. So I'm very conflicted about Allure, but I mean your whole deck's dark. Like this kind of just goes in our deck for free, so I believe it's mandatory, and so that's why I'm playing 2 of each of those guys. I'm gonna play some 1-ofs, foolish, because graveyard deck, mass change. The second masked hero doesn't really ever come up for me. If they out your first like Dark Law and they still have resources to like continue to like kill you, then that means you probably don't have any resources, and so making another masked hero is like just not good. So I just cut this for more consistent cards. Then we play Rhoda because warrior deck, Soul Charge because sack, and Upstart Goblin because 39 card deck. Then we play 2 trap cards. I believe these are the only 2 you should play just for Traptress Paraplegia. Both these cards I think are very well positioned right now, Treacherous especially. This just, if a lot of times you can catch Metalfoe off guard where they'll pendulum their hand and then try to fuse, and then you kill their Metalfoe monsters and then they like die. A lot of times in ABC, if you like bottomless their Tsukiyomi or something like that, then that puts them really far behind. So I think these cards are great, and I definitely play them. I don't want to play strikes or any other traps like that just because I want to like just do my combos. I mean, my deck is a monster combo deck that summons monsters, and traps don't help me do that. So that's why I went with a very minimalistic trap lineup. Moving on to the extra deck, we play Norden, obviously, Dark Law, obviously. Then we play Karen Gorgon. I just think this card's fantastic against ABC and Metalfoe. They have to play around it with Orichalc, with the Snatch Steal, Quick Effect guy, Buster Dragon is playing around with this. Like, I just think this card is really good. Then we play Castel because it's good, Emerald because it's good. Sometimes you need recycling your Norden. These cards because they're good, and this card because it's good. Synchros, we play Coral Dragon, Charge Warrior, obviously your 6s. This comes up a little less, but sometimes you kind of just like need to make Crystal Wing like the regular way, and this is the best way to do it because you draw a card, you don't neg too hard. This card's great. Obviously, access to Tzolkin and just popping cards for free, discarding Mallies and Plagues and stuff is broken. So, but the extra space is really tight, obviously. So then we play Crystal Wing. You can make it. It's good. Summon off Tzolkin. Ignister. This was Draco Equist, but I put this in. Theoretically, it's good against Metalfoe. I didn't play against any Metalfoe, so I don't actually know how well this would have worked out. But again, theoretically, it's insane against Metalfoe. If I do put a Dragon's Mirror in my deck, this is definitely what I'll be taking out for Draco Equist. Then Omega, self-explanatory. Voter Dragon, self-explanatory. And Tzolkin. I'm going to do the side deck real quick. This is just what I played. Quick note, you will notice that I'm not playing any 3-ofs in the side deck, even though there are cards that are at 3 that like theoretically I should be playing 3 of. And that's because the philosophy in this deck that I hold is that your best hands are when you have no multiples of anything. You just have one of like each of your like cards, like one Armageddonite, one Red Resonator, one Instant Fusion, like one Destiny Draw, like one Malicious, and that's like one of your best hands, or like one Hero Lives, like something like that, right? And so that's why I didn't really want to play any cards at 3 in my side deck, because I never want to have multiples of any card. I just want to have like one of my side cards and then the rest combo pieces. Basically, it just prevents oversiding. So I played 2 Maxi because sometimes you go second. 2 Radiant because it's dark and we play Allure of Darkness. That's why we don't play Gamma Seal. We play 2 Forbidden Chalice. Turns off Outcast and Dweller when you go second. And going first, it's just breakthrough skill. So I'm a big fan of Chalice. Just in general, I think it's a great card. Sit him down 2 times because it's game. Against ABC. Twin Twister 2 times because we'd hate traps. Pot of Acquisitiveness. This card's kind of spicy. So you decide this against ABC. And basically, you either kill them when they try to tag out with their Buster, or you just like do your regular Dark Hero Synchro things, and then just put your Malleys and Celestials back, and then and whatever, you know, if they try to banish a card with Buster Dragon, you can do that too. I don't know. I just think this card's cool for the deck, and it just is pretty good. Pretty much a blowout against ABC when you resolve it. Then we play Raigeki, because sometimes you play against idiot decks that Raigeki, like this deck. 2 Typhoon, because beats Metal Foe. And finally, a Time Space Trap Hole for Metal Foe going first out of the Rafflesia target. It's really funny. A lot of players just do not respect your Rafflesia, because they just think like, oh, he just has like Floodgate Trap Hole, and like Metal Foe doesn't care about that. But when Metal Foe, you know, pendulum summons monsters, expecting to fuse with them, when you Floodgate Trap Hole them, and then you just Time Space Trap Hole them, then they just die. So I think it's really good. Alright guys, so that has been the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks.